Welcome back, Nomad of Nowhere Aftershow fans, because we're back for Rooster Teeth Reviews. Tonight we are talking about Season 1, Episode 7, Eagle Canyon. We're going to be talking about discussions between governors, new character dynamics, and of course, 100 good deeds for our Nomad, and lots of critters. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I am admittedly a little disappointed that you didn't say we were going to talk about a whole lot of bull.
Use take 3, by the way. Use take 3.
Yep.
We can definitely, you know what? I'm going to let that pun slide. It's okay.
Doable.
Anyway, hi guys, we're back!
Everybody's dreading what's coming. It's like, yay, happiness, a show that we like is back, but we've been warned countlessly by the people that are working on it that you probably shouldn't be too excited.
No!
We should be excited. We should just also be very prepared.
You know, it's both one, it's a double-edged sword, because on the one hand we get to see our sweet boy again. On the other hand, we know just what's after him now, so...
And if you put both of those hands together, you make friends.
Yay! Anyway, hey there, Nomad of Nowhere Aftershow fans. Let's not waste any time. Yes, we're starting. Let's not waste any time. Let me go ahead and introduce my fantastic panel. To my left, Mark Donica.
Me.
And to his left, Stacey Shuttles.
Hey!
Sorry, Stacey Shuttleworth. Stacey Shuttles is your Twitter handle.
I blame Robbie for that.
That's what I go by in life all the time. Why not?
And to her left, Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies. And to my left.
I'm Megan Salinas. You guys can follow along on the live chat. And if you guys are on Twitter, we are going to be keeping an eye on the hashtag RTReviews.
It's true.
Nicholas Brennan has figured out the joke. The Eagles! I get it! It was all in caps with double exclamation points, so it required that delivery. But yes, yep, yep.
It's so nice.
You have solved our opening show password.
It's so nice when someone picks up what you're putting down. It's so great. So, guys, it's been a long wait since episode 6 ended, and even though we were treated to a wonderful season of Camp to tide us over, in the interim, I personally have really missed this show, and for me, it's so nice to be back. Let's go around the table and give our initial thoughts at the season's return. Mark, what did you think?
We were warned many times. No, I'm just saying, we were warned many times that the show is really going to start to go before it ultimately reaches that Rooster Teeth level of let's kill everyone.
Oh, no!
And,
Hold on now. Wait.
Hang on. Wait. What show are you watching?
Red versus Blue. They killed a lot of people. A lot of people have died and come back to life. Regardless, what I'm saying is,
over the course of 15 seasons,
I'm really happy that within the first 2 minutes, a hope of mine when it comes to something that I wanted from the second half of this season. Hey, I sent you a clip, Steve, that titled "Red Manuel." Can you just play that loudly for me?
Shut up, Red Manuel.
Yeah, that's good. I'm happy about that. That's all I wanted.
That does fill me with a
And
lot
now
of
it
joy.
will live on our board.
I need that as my ringtone.
Who doesn't, though?
Stacey, thoughts coming back to this show?
Man, we really went, and we went hard. This episode was really interesting as far as like how it presented things and how it made you feel, and excited to get into it.
Definitely didn't pull its punches. Katie?
I had fun. I had a lot of fun. We have fun here. I think just the awful laughter and I'm okay. It's like, oh no, someone please gift that because that's my life. That is 110% my life, especially this past week and a half. So it's like, I just need that. Thank you, Rooster Teeth, for showing my innermost thoughts and feelings. That one convenient gift.
That moment when one character's internal screaming almost becomes external screaming, but he holds back just ever so slightly. I'm very impressed with this show. You know, we sit down and we talk about Rooster Teeth content week to week, and we always love making outlandish predictions and sometimes not so outlandish predictions. But no matter what, no matter where our discussions seem to go, this show never fails in surprising me. And I have to say, the first couple minutes of this episode were exceedingly surprising for me personally. I did not necessarily picture this particular interaction going the way it did. So let's go ahead and start off by diving into that discussion, because we open on the Oasis and Don Paragon is freaking out because, guys, they end up getting a visit from one of the governors, El Toro. Now, this entire sequence is just hilarious. And I really want to thank Rooster Teeth for the gift that is the wonderful gift that keeps on giving, that is Max Dennison's voice acting.
Yes.
For somebody who doesn't have a lot of credits to his name on IMDb, like,
Couldn't find him.
he is masterful.
Well, him versus Sungwon.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing that Toro reminded me of was Film Cow, the animation studio that did, I say animation studio, the guy that did Charlie the Unicorn, Llamas with Hats, that line of stuff. It reminds me of that tone, and it also says a lot about the time that has passed. And even like, oh God, this dialogue and it was written so well to the point where, how many times has Toro heard, oh, there's been a Nomad signing, and he's just done with it? What is his relationship with El Rey? Just the throw off of, you know how he is, sort of a thing. Just this told us so much about the world without saying anything specifically about the world, and I loved this interaction.
I was expecting him to be this big, menacing villain, and it turns out that he's a frat boy. He's just an awful frat boy. You remember in Captain America, there was that nice long conversation about people who should and should not have power. He's one of those guys that probably never should have been given power. And he has it, and it's been 100 years, so now he's bored. He runs a place called the Killiseum. That's not extra, that's desperate.
This Saturday, come to the Killiseum.
We're gonna murder a man again. I can't do it nearly
That's
as well
actually
as you.
how it goes.
Just one man? Slow day. Very slow day.
Not worth
He
his
doesn't
time.
get out of bed for one man.
So yeah,
Someone
Stacey.
else does the VO.
What a loaded statement that was.
You know what?
And
I don't get out of bed for any man.
I'm not the shipping person, but
Except now you are.
I guess I am.
You made yourself that person.
Well,
If you're shipping, who's handling?
I hate you so
let
much.
it go. Let it go. That's one that file it.
Yep.
God damn it. No, Mecha-san beats you. In talking about El Toro, he says he's a bully.
I'm not sure if he meant that pun or not, because there's not a hyphen between the L and the Y.
No,
but
I'm giving him the
take
point.
it.
I'm giving them
Take
the
it
point.
and
Full on
run.
pun points.
He knows what he did. But yeah, Stacey, like I said, I was very surprised by this interaction. What did you think?
It was a really surprising interaction, just because he is completely not what I expected. Like from the first sentence, it was like, oh, that's how we're going with this character, and then just the way it was presented, it was such a silly scene. It was so lighthearted, and yet the underlying cruelty of everything was just a really fascinating juxtaposition, especially with some of the things we see, in other parts of the series and even later in this episode.
I think that's the perfect thing to sum up this entire interaction, just underlying cruelty. There's an air of casualness in which El Toro just describes things very offhandedly. And yeah, at the end of the day, the reality is so cruel, and he's so desensitized by it.
I don't get out of bed for a body count under 30.
This,
That's
There
a
you
lot
go.
of people.
I was just gonna say, he likes violence, but like it's so mundane to him now that it doesn't do anything for him.
It's a statement on today. Whether it was intended or not, it's the desensitization of us towards violence, and I wonder what the other governors might represent. And also the animation on Alto, they could have just had a dude walk in and be there, but the fact that he was a billowing smoke message, what is this? Is this why we needed the break to boost up a whole bunch of our stuff? And they're taking it to the next level because they didn't have to do that. No! It could have just been smoke under him, but they made the entire image of Toro billowing, and that's an achievement for the studio.
Yes,
awesome.
It's beautiful.
It really is. I spent most of my first watch through just watching his horns as they like billowed up in turn. It was just magical. It was captivating.
Yeah, it's almost hypnotic just watching it go. That, and it's so cool to think that, in a world where magic is dying, this is still a means of communication. Presumably because El Rey has all the magic, and he probably, doles it a little bit out to his governors.
And only gives enchanted items to people that deserve it.
Or he deems worthy, or at least useful.
Or if it'll serve his purpose.
The ever-watching eye on the belt of El Toro.
Ooh. Do you think you can see through that?
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably.
Oh, God.
If it's something for a governor, probably.
Oh, man. For me, I'm surprised we even saw El Toro. I kind of figured that all of the governors would be obscured in silhouettes and shadows for a little while longer. But no, he just appears. He just appears and is so casual and demeaning about the way he addresses Don Paragon, who committed murder in the last episode, just very nonchalantly committed murder. The way he talks down to him and the fear in Don Paragon's eyes and in his voice are very, very apparent. Like, that's the thing that really struck me with how casual El Toro is. Don Paragon is on the edge of a nervous breakdown the entire time. So... And
it was one of the things that gave me a very dark prediction for when we get to that part of the show.
I can't wait to hear that.
Well, we've already got a prediction in chat. We have Please Clap saying, I don't think El Toro is going to be the boss this season. I think the main season antagonist is going to be his champion.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
He has a champion coming to find the Nomad, and for, that it might not be the biggest threat to the Nomad. Like, it could be that the rivalry between Toth and this unknown agent, as of yet, that could be the crux of the conflict this season for sure. So, yeah, okay. Do we have any other final thoughts on this initial interaction? Because there's still a lot of the episode to get to.
I think we should just move forward.
Yeah. It was fun and unexpected, and I was a little taken aback that it wasn't Travis Willingham doing the voice.
The only other thing I want to say is that I love the dandelions. Like, that persistent... Like, Jethro gives the best massages was a wonderful little bit.
And Red Manuel's very tiny little cameo, and then...
Play
Red Manuel, please. Nope, I guess
only
not.
Mark wields the power.
I guess
It's like
so.
the scream activated lights, which I'm not going to do. But
Later.
it's still a very Texan show, and Red Manuel bringing the Espanol.
Shut up, Red Manuel.
Thank you.
This interaction also gave me a terrible prediction about Red Manuel as well.
Okay. The only other thing I want to say before we move on is...
Bulls get angry when they see red, right? I know that's not actually the case, but I don't care. It's a trope.
It filled me with a lot of joy seeing Don Paragon get knocked down a couple pegs, because every time he's spoken Spanish so far in this season, it makes my skin crawl. So it's really nice to see just somebody smack him back down to the bottom of the totem pole.
I can gringo.
Sí, es la verdad. All right. Let's talk about Skout and Toth in this episode. Guys, I kind of thought that they weren't going to interact at all. Like, I kind of thought that Toth's dismissal at the end of the last episode was going to be the last time they were even on screen together. But no, almost immediately we hop into a scene with the two of them, and it wasn't nearly as cruel as I thought it was going to be.
It was worse.
Well, no. I mean, Toth wasn't as cruel. Like, they saved that for the end of the episode.
That's true.
What did you guys think of this initial interaction? Stacey, let's start with you.
Well, I think had it been up to Toth, it would have been no contact, no talking. But then we have Skout, who's our eternal optimist, and always like, well, I'm gonna make the best of this situation, and we're gonna make everything work. So she's, back and ready to go, and then Toth has to deal with that. And I think she does try to gently brush it off and be like, look, no.
Yeah, she does say, wait until you're better.
Toth is not good at this.
Oh.
She's got battlefield leadership skills, but those interpersonal skills leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah. Mark?
Sad. Very sadness.
Did your ship sink?
You say that so begrudgingly, like you're making fun of me. This is in canon, man. This isn't anybody isn't this isn't something that was created by the fandom. This was episode 1. This was OG. This is written into the script.
That doesn't make it any less your ship.
Yeah. I'm still trying to understand. But
Mark's having a rough time with this.
You can ship things that are canonical or are not canonical.
It's still a ship.
Irrelevant.
An elephant. But I don't know, man. I have a very bad and probably irrational idea of where this is gonna go.
I can't wait till we get to the prediction side of things because I feel like Mark's just going to lay it all out.
You can kind of put everything together by what I've been putting down.
Rock's fall. Just El Rey just kills everyone.
We'll get there.
I mean, that's the bad ending.
We'll get there.
Also, for those not aware, not everyone at the table has seen next week's episode.
Oh,
so we're
goodness.
only talking about this one because public release. No one's done it yet, but I want to head that off at the pass.
Yes.
I can delete some stuff. If
We definitely appreciate your guys' enthusiasm, but yes, in accordance with the sort of rules laid out by Rooster Teeth, we want to adhere to the community guidelines posted there. So that's why we're only talking about episodes that fall under public release.
Mm-hmm.
So be cool. Don't spoil anything for anybody. Be cool.
And join first anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
do that. Do that so you don't have to wait. All right, so yeah, this initial interaction didn't quite go like I thought it would. It was like it was gentle, but at the same time, like it was sort of lulling me into a false sense of security for the backhanded smack that would come later.
At the same time, there was also a feeling of like, but if she stays here, she's safe. But also, it made me think maybe we'll get some more interaction between her and Paragon.
Yeah.
And see and to see what happens there. But I guess we'll have to wait for more of the season to go through.
Indeed.
As far as I'm concerned, anywhere that Don Paragon can directly influence is not safe for anyone. Again, we witnessed him casually do a murder last episode. Like,
Did that guy get better?
no. He got deader.
I mean, he also beat down someone with a lint roller in this episode, so it's an ongoing trend.
We've all been there.
Those are not easy things to break. That's a lot of sheets of paper.
No, that hurts to get hit by. I can imagine.
Well, guys, before we move on, I want to talk to you guys really quickly about iTunes. Folks, thank you so much to everybody who's gone to iTunes to rate, subscribe, leave a comment. We love hearing from you, and it is the best way to let our producers know that you guys like the show that we're putting on. And for those of you who do take the time to rate and comment, we like giving you guys a shout out on the show. Do we have any
Like
ones?
Ryan Gott, who left us less than a day ago. This is fresh, hot off the presses.
Yeah.
5 stars, great recaps, and magic.
Magical.
That's what the presses sound like.
The title's a little too long, so I can't get all of it. So if you're in chat, let us know what the full title was, because it sounds pretty promising. But this one's long, so strap in. The ABTV Rooster Teeth Aftershow is probably one of my favorite podcasts. I'm just now being able to get back into watching my favorite Rooster Teeth shows, and I'm so glad that I have this show to enjoy alongside every episode. I have a long commute to school via bus, and being able to spend time with 2 to 4 other people that are insatiable fans of Rooster Teeth, just like I am, is one of the best ways to pass that time. I love everything they've done on the show. I just want to sing my praise for these guys because they're amazing and funny, and they bring their A game to host every week, except for Mark. I'm kidding. That's my own low self-esteem. Even when the puns are worse than Yang's. I didn't add that in. That was here. I don't use iTunes. I'm personally an Android and Windows person. I just like these guys so much, and I know that it helps them out so tremendously. Please, if you're on the fence about the show and you don't know if you're going to download it, do it! listen to a couple of episodes. I guarantee you'll love it. Thank you so much for going out of your digital comfort zone and leaving us a review on iTunes.
Yeah, we know that iTunes isn't necessarily everybody's go-to when it comes to their podcasting habits, so thank you so much. It really means a lot.
I know Google Play just started doing podcasts, but I don't know how their review thing is.
I don't know if they do reviews for podcasts.
Mm-hmm. And really quickly, I would like to shout out Chicago critic Gerald, Wombat, Eldebaran, Sir Jedi Sentinel, who also sent us a Camp line, which I'm going to be reposting soon, and Dino's Cry Tears with Ships for commenting on our Camp season finale episode. Highly appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are the best. We love you.
And it looks like Google Play does not do reviews. I can't find a place to leave one.
Well, and just so you guys know, for people in the international iTunes stores as well, we can't necessarily see those from our perspective, but those do still count. If you guys would like a shout out, feel free to go ahead and give us a screen cap, put it in the hashtag RT Reviews or tag Rooster Team, the Rooster Team on Twitter, and we will happily give you guys a shout out because it does help. Every little bit helps. Counts. So thank you guys so much for the support and the kind words. You're all wonderful and we love you.
While you're here, be sure to support AfterBuzz as well. Subscribe to the channel. Notifications are optional. Subscribe to some of the other channels. We've got drama, we've got reality, we've got action adventure, we've got pretty much if you watch a show, there's probably an after show for it. So you should hunt it down, subscribe to the channel, and notifications are optional. So we won't necessarily be blowing up your phone. So do the thing. That also helps support AfterBuzz, which also supports us. Thank you.
Might be a little biased, but I think you should definitely subscribe to the animation channel.
Wow, it's not like we're on 3 shows on this channel.
Why?
Because we're also on Attack on Titan and Voltron, and they're amazing, and the anime review show is currently doing My Hero Academia, and also South Park is a thing that continues to exist. So if you're a fan of South Park, that's also got an after show.
Yeah, lots of good stuff here. So definitely subscribe to the animation channel at the very least. So thank you guys again so much. Let's get back to this episode.
Yes.
Okay.
We haven't even gotten to the Nomad yet.
No, but that's where we're at. The Nomad, guys. Our beloved son. It's so nice to see him again.
No, I left something at home. Anyway.
Oh, no!
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Did you leave your friend at home?
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okay, we won't worry about it. We'll worry about it next week. But yeah, it's so sweet seeing this guy again. I do want to point out this interaction he has with what appears to be this world's version of a giant eagle. If we're going with the Lord of the Rings parallels, we have the Eye of Mordor. We also have the eagles. Will the eagle save the day, guys? I'm just gonna say that that's my prediction. End of the series, Eagle Endgame.
No, it's not bad. That's not bad.
But something we see is he helps this injured eagle. That was oddly hard to say.
Yeah. Can we gift that, please?
It's a sad bird.
I will say he helped the eagle out in the wrong direction.
Oh my god, that's exactly what I said. It's like, no, break it in half and pull it through. Oh my god. If something is barbed, do not pull it back through the wound. And if something is barbed and embedded, break the shaft off as close to the skin as you can, wrap it up, and leave it. Because pulling it back the other way does more damage.
That's a life lesson.
I know we're outside of camp, but that's your survival camp lesson for the day.
Sure, that's what we were referring to.
Our sweet summer child does not, he's not a doctor. He's not a medical professional. He probably hasn't even passed basic first aid.
We can cross that off
Barb.
the possible pasts.
Although, an interesting distinction is even though he helps this eagle the very wrong way, we see the glowing in the chest again, and we've been hypothesizing that that's him doing a good deed. However, that might not necessarily be the case. Maybe it's the intention of doing a good deed, because as we just described, pulling it out the other way is the absolute wrong thing to do. That's not good.
Should not count.
But
You got it out, but
at what cost?
But the other thing is that when he goes to save the egg, we don't see the same sort of thing happen. So I wanted to kind of go around the table and see what this distinction, get you guys to weigh in on it a little bit, because it doesn't necessarily seem like every time he does a good deed, he gets this glow. What do we think this distinction means, if anything? Let's start with Mark.
I wonder if it's like one per day. Like you can sort of like a mobile game. You only get so many things a day or something.
It's like his punch card, where
Something like that.
after 10 days he gets a free soda.
Something like that. or maybe because his magic has to do with non-living things, we're still waiting for an explanation on the flower. Where maybe it's something related to helping a living thing because the egg and the child, the baby bird and the mother are connected.
It's the same
It's the
family,
same
yeah.
act.
Yeah.
And it's the same intention. So maybe there's something like that. I doubt that we'll get another episode before the end of the season that's as telling as the Undertaker episode.
Yeah.
But maybe we will, maybe we won't. That's what I think.
Stacey, thoughts?
I think something along the similar lines, like maybe one that counted as one encounter. So once, he was already in the midst of doing this deed for the eagle, anything he did in there, like, one per person. You can't do 100 good
Everybody
deeds.
gets one. You get one.
Like, you can't sit there and just keep doing the good deed for one person to like work off your debt.
Maybe.
Stipulations.
I want to go back through, the series such as it is right now and take a look at when we got those little glowing bits and see if there's a pattern. Because I haven't gone back and done the thing yet, and I want to make a hypothesis without some facts.
Maybe it's less of one per person and more one per place. Because it's the land that's devoid of magic. So maybe by spreading goodness throughout the land, you are like sowing the seeds for magic to return.
And it's not specific.
Maybe
You
magic
can make
was
any sort of a rule.
Maybe magic was the friends we made along the way. Which means that literally, friendship is magic.
I mean, kind of. Maybe.
My Little Nomad does fit within the melody of the anyway.
Oh, no.
You realize I need that fan art now, and I know there are pony creators out there, so it doesn't necessarily have to be someone with art skills, because I don't have art skills, but I still want it.
Is the cutie mark the clap emoji?
Yep.
Absolutely.
The cutie mark is just googly eyes.
No. It should be coconuts.
Yes.
Anyway.
Oh no, the cutie mark is just that little glowy bit.
I love
Those who don't know
all
his
of
name
these.
call him Firefly.
I love all of these. I need the fan art for all of it.
It's the second week in a row we've gone to a really weird, like, crossover place with these animation studios.
You say that like there's a problem.
It's amazing.
We are the animation channel. Hi.
Exactly.
Hey.
It's amazing. But in the midst of helping out this eagle, that's when Red Manuel comes back. And I want to just point out this little bit of depth from the dandelion. The nomad is hanging on for dear life, and the dandelion has a clear shot. And he instead, and I don't know if this is him, like, in a moment of self-preservation of, Toth will kill me if I kill him first. But instead of taking the shot, he alerts Toth to their presence.
I also have to wonder if it's just, if I take the shot, Red Manuel's going to take the credit, and he will be impossible to live with. Let's signal Toth.
Yeah, it's a wonderfully ambiguous moment where it's like, is it just dishonorable to take aim at somebody who has no means of defending themselves in this moment, or is it very selfish? Is it like, oh man, I don't want to deal with the repercussions of this if I'm the one to take the shot?
Man, I don't get paid enough for this.
I'm gonna need Jethro to give me a massage when I get back,
Seriously.
especially after he gets ripped up by that eagle.
Deep tissue, you got it.
I do not have the authority to make this decision. I'm sending it up the line.
Someone else handle this.
But it does lead to the long-awaited confrontation of these two characters, Toth and the Nomad again. Guys, in Toth's worldview, this is her at her most restrained.
It really is. She tried to talk it out.
She threw an axe, though.
As I
That
said,
was after
she
talking.
She used her words.
She did.
Her axe is named
They
her
were-
words. Oh, you're not familiar with the Vikings. Give us another weird one. There we go.
Those
Yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah, he built this because he's
He's on the Vikings show, right?
as the engineer, but he built this for his own use.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
I think we may need
Steve.
to copy a few things over then.
But yeah, so yeah, much like the initial interaction between Don Paragon and El Toro, I was not anticipating this. I was sort of anticipating sort of how it ended ultimately, but I was not anticipating Toth to be as eloquent or articulate as she was in this moment. She really did make as much effort as she and her single-mindedness could possibly make. And I wanted to go around the table and ask if we were all surprised by this. Katie, what were your thoughts on Toth's trying to use her words?
I am surprised because she's always been the type to rush in first and then try to make violence be the answer to everything. BG Titan Avatar in chat makes the point that talking with the Nomad was more of a Scout move, and I absolutely agree. She's learning.
Yeah. Stacey?
She is slowly but surely. She's still not using the right words in the right ways, but the fact that she made an effort was interesting, and the way that played against how she usually acts, and then kind of how she reverted to acting at the end of their little chat.
I tried it your way, it didn't work, so now we're doing it my way.
Mark?
I think this was 100% for Scout. Nobody was there to witness it, but ultimately she's trying to be better, and whether she had a moment of Scout's not here and she's here to she's the talker and it's worked out pretty well. Maybe it's something of, but either way, I think that talking it out was agreed with BG Titan Avatar. This was a Scout move because she makes Toth a better person.
I think they're very much rubbing off on each other because Toth is trying a tactic that is not in her normal sort of
repertoire.
Exactly. But at the same time, we see Scout at oddly her most ruthless. She holds that hatching egg hostage over a cliffside. Ultimately, she can't do anything about it and goes, oh, curse my tender heart. But she held that baby hostage. Let's not pretend that is not cold-blooded.
It is.
That was honestly the most shocking thing to me, that Scout acted like that. I had to sit there for a second and just go, hold on. That's not the Scout we know. That's not even in her
Ballpark.
Anywhere. Not even close. Not in the stadium.
She's in the wrong stadium.
It's not even the right professional sport.
She's watching amateur league. She's watching Little League and just oh, I've got somewhere else to be.
But yeah, so I feel like they are rubbing off on each other, and whether Scout brings out the best in Toth, it makes me wonder if maybe Toth brings out the worst in Scout.
That's so sad.
Or maybe not necessarily the worst, but at least she is learning to be more assertive and to state her mind. And we see that when they ultimately clash at the end of this episode, Scout's just not taking it. She's standing up for herself. And I don't think the Scout we met at the beginning of the series would have done that.
And I mean, you do have to be a certain level of ruthless to survive in this desert. It's just that Scout is not someone that we've ever seen that from. Doesn't mean she's incapable, just means that she had someone else to do it for her, and now she doesn't.
Yeah. And ultimately, yeah, they come to, as the Nomad escapes with the eagles again, eagle rescue for the win.
Like an eagle.
We have that whole moral dilemma of what did you want me to do? Toss the egg over the edge of the cliff if that's what it took. Was that an eagle?
A dolphin?
That was a bird. Really quick.
You tried.
Where was it? Yeah, and he did great.
He did excellent. Thank you, Steve. I'm loving all these sound effect choices. They're fantastic.
I think it was Cam said it in chat, but mentioned that there's also the Native American myth of the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And this could be a representation in this world about it.
I love
possible.
that.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love that thought. Keep it up, Cam.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ultimately get this moral dilemma of should I have thrown the egg over the edge? And Toth says, yes, if that's what it took. And I would throw anything over that cliff if it meant getting the Nomad. She goes, well, you didn't throw me over.
Foreshadowing?
For all of our audio are like, what the hell just happened? Are we having mic issues again?
We were tuning up the band.
We're all warming up for our barbershop quartet later on.
Oh god.
The acapella group.
But this is where, again, things get really ugly and where the more cruel words get thrown out. However, I will point out that even though Toth is very, very blunt, she's not wrong. And also, there is a lot of, like, oddly enough, heart and good intentions behind her pushing Skout away. It's
the wrong way to say it, though.
It's the wrong way to say it. Because, like, but she's right. If Skout hadn't been there, chances are she would have been successful in the mission and Skout would have been safe back at the base. Like, it's hard to argue when she probably would have gotten the results that she wanted after trying the peaceful route.
It's entirely possible. We don't know one way for sure. One way or another, though.
Nope. Stacey?
I mean, yes, it is really hard to argue, but then, I don't know, I feel like the future repercussions of that would be even greater. So, had Skout not been there, Toth would have gone a completely different way as a character. You know, the way that she's barreling towards, before Skout came. Yeah, before Skout came and planted herself firmly in front of her.
It'll be interesting if, Toth is made aware of the actual nature of El Rey and what actually would happen to the Nomad if he was caught. It would be very interesting to see if the sort of ramifications of that choice, will it all change her mind, or if it's irrelevant because of what it means for her people. So it'll be interesting to see how all that shakes out. And as we're talking about the future, I think it's time that we go ahead and delve on into some predictions. Do we have any final thoughts about this episode before we just
your AfterBuzz TV.
give our thoughts about where we think it's going? Nope. All right. Let's go ahead and delve on into some predictions. Katie, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think?
Well, thanks for that. I don't know that I
going?
have anything specifically for next episode. I would not be surprised to see Skout go off and try to do this on her own now. Like, well, I'm just going to bring in the Nomad.
Yeah. We don't have to go
happens.
with next episode specifically because I know some people have already seen it. But yeah, overarching for the rest of this season, we can definitely do that.
I do like the idea that El Toro's champion is the mini boss for the end of this season, because we're not really in a place to face down Mr. Body Count of 30 plus.
We'll see.
No, daily body count of 30 plus. Like that's a lot of people.
That's so much murder.
Guys.
Or maybe he just doesn't get out of bed very often.
No, that's a good point.
A load of ball.
If they don't tell him that it's a body count of more than 30, then he doesn't have to get out of bed.
Like, he's just chilling.
Like, I imagine that message for Don Paragon was the equivalent of him in bed on FaceTime, and just kind of like, or like him and like essentially him green screened out from his bed and just like, I just have to talk to this Jo
Why
for
has
some
Without
reason.
risk of dropping his phone on this.
Exactly.
Why has no one beaten him and replaced him yet?
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
God, you're weird.
Stacey,
Good.
where do you think we're going?
I mean, I think we're going to get a lot from Skout coming up, especially. I want to see us kind of go back to that very early, like, her being all about knowledge and gathering, like, this learning of this land that is still so foreign, well, to us at the very least. So to see her, because she was pretty determined. She's striking out on her own, right? So I want to see her actually start to learn about the world around her and start to put bigger pieces together and maybe become an integral part of what she brings back to, Toth and the Dandelions and like, hey, look, this is what's actually going on.
I like that. Mark?
Who's ready for some darkness?
Yes!
All right.
You've been making us wait all episode. What are your predictions? Go ahead, lay them out.
We've been given a couple of breadcrumbs, and here's something that this is overarching. This may not even be the end of this season, but I'll start by saying this. We were told at the Nomad of Nowhere panel, which you can watch right now on Mixer, that Elizabeth Maxwell gave a performance that made Jordan Swears cry. And he is an emotionless stone guardian of the animation department. And I say that with all reverence and respect. So nugget number one. Nugget number two, Red Manuel needs to prove himself worthy of being anywhere near Don Paragon. Don Paragon needs to prove himself worthy, and we've seen him kill indiscriminately. Of just stabbed, you're dead. Like you said, is he okay? No, he dead. But so what I am thinking is that one of the two of this is a multi-part plan. One of the two of them is going to kill Skout. Does that mean that Skout stays dead? No. We've been seeing the Nomad getting more and more powerful, and it has been inherently expressed that he has no effect on living magic, or on things that were once living, until he gets powerful enough to bring Skout back from the dead. Now, I think it's going to be an instant thing, and one whomever it was will be punished for that action. But ultimately, I think Skout may go down just to come back up again, especially because she's a long-term player. She's not like...
We
and
need
also,
this to be
they
true.
have to undo the curse of the redhead that they have established with Ruby. But that's what I think. At some point this season, maybe not, but maybe just because that's what Jordan said, and it was specifically for the second half of the season. And we've been warned a lot by the crew that there's going to be a turning point, and I am just thinking the worst. So yeah, that's my prediction. I wonder if we'll be able to talk to anybody about that throughout the season. We probably will, because we got some stuff in the works. Anyway.
Mark?
Darkness, my old friend.
No, it's the light. It's about the light. It's about going through the darkness to see the light of the Nomad, and that's what will turn the tide of people believing in the Nomad as a good entity.
So rude. My heart.
You just went for it.
I gave a positive spin on it.
I know.
You started this off with "Who wants some darkness?"
Darkness.
You knew what you were getting us into.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
Thank you. Not Don Paragon.
Not that Dawn.
Different kind of
Couple of
dawn.
hours, the sun will rise.
Really quickly, can I get one more shut up, Red Manuel?
Shut up, Red Manuel.
Thank you.
Yay!
Oh, Lord.
You make all of us very happy.
Yeah, I mean, we are running out of time, but predictions for me, I think the rest of this season is going to be about Skout and the Nomad coming together, and yeah, ultimately going on this journey of discovery together. Since the first bounty hunter we came across was like steampunk, wind up
Ranch hand.
stretchy arm, I can't wait to see what El Toro's envoy looks like. So yeah, guys, I think that wraps it up
It has to.
tonight.
Yeah.
Katie, where can people go if they want to find you?
You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you like seeing reaction videos for these episodes, they live on that channel. And like we said, Attack on Titan is moving to Monday, and Voltron is also on Monday, so come back for those because they're super great.
Stacy?
Hey guys, I'm Stacey Shuttleworth. You can find me all over the web at Stacey Shuttles. Most days you can find me over on Inventory Full. I do some streaming over on Twitch, so twitch.tv/inventoryfull. Check me out there with
Inventory Full
over here.
PT.
Inventory Full PT.
Nailed it. I mean, it's Mark Donica. You can help us out by going to tpublic.com/theroosterteam, picking up some merchandise, which will help us work on more independent projects like Welcome to Vale, which is now on iTunes. Go and check out our iTunes page. I'm working on getting it on the Google Play podcast store, but you can go there and download the individual episodes. And you should probably stay subscribed for future releases. What does that mean? I don't know. Shut up. Don't talk to me. Yeah, this is going to be a fun season of or fun second half of Nomad of Nowhere, because we're going to be talking to a lot of people that love the show.
And I'm Megan Salinas. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @TheMengui. That's TheMengui. And thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.